Doing YouTube? Welcome to Upside DIY. So I got a few items, and there's two more coming. I bought a bike pump. It's a mini for I got for $6. I got these for roughly around 13 to 14. A really good polish. These actually fit over other glasses. I have the night vision glasses. Um, So they sell singles for like $6, and it might be a different brand and stuff. Uh, so I got three for so I got one free, and basically, I just wanted to really test these out. These have like yellow lenses, and I bought some false teeth. These are solid. These aren't the crowns, which is pretty good. I'm going to start doing some of my dental molding. Uh, and things like that. It's really hard to explain like how I need to get onto some of this, but for missing teeth, building the beginnings or test runs in the beginning, working with silicone from the hardware store, and then it's really just practice. I've got this, and then a different. And I've got, just a supply box of templates and just some molding material like bubble gum. And then there's that mold right there, which is for casting. Um, and the thing is, I'm thinking with the bubble gum, since, some of the products that I use, like silicone and, um, bubble gum, is actually might be pretty good for and things like that. Stuff happens where I could like boil this and make it softer and mold it, boil it in water and things. But I'm thinking just having small pieces that are pretty much rectangular, but then I'm going to curve them up into a wall. Put some gum kind of like inside where the missing tooth is, and then make individual impressions on. So I think I'm going to have to, besides just making something for epoxy and all that other things, I'm going to have to really test, how the bubble gum is going to, uh, be more convenient for one, and then also make a better mold of natural, of missing. So these teeth are pretty much a solid half of a tooth, and it does come with like a glue or and things like that. And then you kind of see it on this edge. I'm not going to take it out of the package, but that's plenty. That's pretty good space uh, for just adding glue, adding like a special clip that I'm going to make. I could use some type of like paper clip or something that's coated and things, maybe coat it with a rubber, a small rubber hose. And this is actually pretty, depending on the paper clip, it is actually pretty strong wire that could bend. And I'm going to basically try to hook it or attach it softly with like a rubber hose and things like that. I could add epoxy, make the epoxy different. So these teeth aren't, I can't be really picky. I gotta pretty much. I spent $9.90. These are $9.99. They have other teeth that are $12.99 for like twice as many. But I specifically like typed in like just false teeth or really good teeth that and this is what the search came up with, and it seems pretty useful, just because there's some space, um that I'm going to that could actually like attach, and I could embed um pretty much one or two teeth at first, and also so you know if you know you're into like dental products, I do have a short video of all my other dental items. I should review some of those. These false teeth for, you know, such and such amount is actually supposed to be what these molds and things that I've been trying to make are for, just to replace the teeth. I would make a mold of the false tooth, and then I would cast it, and then make a you know, pretty much a duplicate tooth. So, you know, instead of doing all this other work, you know, spending 3 or 4 months learning about this stuff, even though I do need to make this middle denture plate just in case, you know, there's like, you know, it's going to be pretty uncomfortable, you know, having something in your mouth like a whole denture, full denture. But sometimes missing teeth does need it. There's, you know, especially in the back row, or you know, if it's on the left and the right side and stuff, just to get it done. You know, so this is actually a pretty good mold of just the inside top of the roof and things. Some of these false teeth, they can be used, you know, for a wide variety of stuff, and I'm pretty much, you know, excited to actually be doing that. I'm going to also make a not a casting chamber, just to try to make something like this, you know, or casting other small items. Maybe 3D printing. It's now is actually reinforced right where, pretty much where this connects to the hinge. So I'm going to add some epoxy, and on both sides, this side and the other side, which this box, just a coating. I'm going to use a Q-tip, but the first thing I want to do is double check this side, because the hole I had to actually fill in. And the hole still needs a little bit of work. I didn't want to work on it too much with the hot iron and stuff, but yeah, at the very last portion of this, but there was actually a piece of plastic missing, and then I got you know, some hot glue, but it just needs to be a little bit more rounded off, you know, just to try to, you know, basically fit where the hinge is. I could reference to this. I could clean this up a little bit, but the hole is a little bit larger. I just gotta deal with that. Then it's pressure, and see this. This is a small right angle drill. It got other parts still inside of the box. This is actually the power supply. I kind of kept a couple of smaller drill bits. I really don't need these in here, but it's basically supposed to attach to that. Actually, I can keep it in here just to, you know, it's quite long. You know, it's quite. It's actually made for like a CNC type of machine, you know, for really small. This is pretty much, and there's actually an electric motor. This is some more hardware. Oh, this is the foot for the foot control. It's got a pedal to it. This drill was quite it's not like as expensive as professional stuff, but and it's got a straight, basically it's an expensive Dremel, but for a Dremel, and you know, finding a small right angle like that, it's not, it's basically hard. You gotta figure out, like, you know, the situation for dental drilling. But this can, you know, pretty much make its money back if you know, I get into something like that eventually. So I'm gonna put whatever I can, but these drill shanks are just and they might not even fit right. They look really thin or small, so um productive on ordering stuff with Amazon. And then so I'm basically going through a lot of the, you know, more in-depth review, 15 times magnification. So when I look into this, I might even resort things out. Got a bunch of stuff. Look at all this stuff. There's conical screw. These are veneers. I think I got two for like $15, but they can be, they're basically, uh, but the main things, I got a bunch of crowns and stuff. I need to get the crowns out, just to start sorting these out, from the front and the rear, just in case I need to use these and stuff like that. So I got pretty much these packs aren't that expensive, but you get a lot of them, I think. The thing is, I would actually use these with conical screws. It's kind of like important that I've got some actual dental like metal tools for like pulling out teeth and stuff, because sometimes, or pliers and things like that, sometimes things, and I think this has some like refills for the hard plastic, the stuff that teeth guards, whereas you want to keep the teeth open, and then there's actually like a small hole and things, or spaces to put, or to this actually goes, I had to figure this out, but I could actually use like a rubber, things a little more cushioned. And these are actually for CNC machines, for really small fine, but I got a bunch of these and things like that, but and different sizes. These drills are really fine drills and things. I really don't have to be, but the more smaller, or even the holes and things, the tighter the screws are going to screw in and stuff. So I got two conical screws. They have gold plated, they have and titanium, I think, but these are really small screws that actually screw into the gum line and stuff. So, but they can be a little bit different size and things, but there's an installation. Just just twist this and open up the right compartment and stuff. Some of these screws might be at different lengths actually and stuff like that. Just depends how firm and things, but you know, it's, it's got like a Torx or some type of special way to actually glue on. So I reviewed this, glue on the crown or the false tooth and things like that. I'm gonna, it's gonna be filled with epoxy resin, or some type of adhesive to glue to the screw. Um, it's pretty surprising how many like basically cheap or generic parts actually are pretty much the same as expensive. It's just as professional items, it just depends on who's just who's making use of these types of things, and like learning. So it's going to be really useful, I think, if I'm going to start, have to drill like a hole. I can, if there's a certain situation to actually add a wire